I'm Phil from Ill Vibe, and today we're talking about equipment setup, all the basics to get the turntables and mixer connected correctly and to get the sounds out of the speaker. What we have here to demonstrate for you is the first generation Jbl Eon Powered Speaker. This is the 15-inch version, and by being called powered, what that actually means is that the amplifier is located inside the speaker, so you don't need to hook up the equipment to an amplifier and then amplifier to the speaker. It just connects directly from the mixer right to the speaker, and I'll turn this around to show you where all those connections are. Can you see that? Right here is the power connection, and it uses a basic IEC cable, which you can find on the back of a regular standard computer tower or monitor, and it just plugs in like so. You can also bridge, if you have the right kind of connection, you can bridge another power cord off of this outlet and power another speaker if you need to, but for most cases that's not necessary, and the power button is right here located above the power connection. And here is the audio connection. The input is an XLR, which looks like this on the wire side of it. This would be the male side of the XLR connector, and this will connect directly from your mixer or whatever your source is into the XLR input here. You can bridge another XLR wire on the opposite end of that wire, which would be the female side, and bridge the same signal coming into this speaker to another speaker if you wanted to. And that makes this a very versatile piece of equipment, because it allows you to connect a whole bunch of different things together in whichever way you need them to be. Now, there's another version, a newer, updated version of this Eon, and it's called the Eon G2, and it has more than one connection in it. This only has an XLR input, that's all that it has, but the G2 has XLR and quarter-inch inputs, so you have a different variety of ways to connect to it. Also, the G2s have another set of controls other than the volume knob, which you see here. This is obviously just 0 and all the way up. The G2 has another set of knobs that control low and high frequency bands. So you kind of have, a two-way frequency EQ on that G2 speaker, which comes in handy a lot of the time. And that's about it for this speaker. You can connect a microphone signal, which is weaker than line level input. You can connect a microphone directly into this unit by pressing the button right here. It's marked mic/line. Pushing the button in sets it for mic level input, and pressing it again to take the button out of position sets this for line level input. When you're using a DJ mixer, you want to use line level input, or else the mic level will be too sensitive and you risk damaging the speaker. So what we're going to show you next is the typical way that you position the speaker. You could always just leave it on the floor, but that doesn't do well for carrying of the sound and directing it. Another handy feature about these speakers is that on the very bottom they have a hole here that's designed to accept the top of a speaker pole, which we'll show you in a second. And there's also a locking nut here that you can twist to make sure that it doesn't come off of that pole. Okay. Now what we have here is a standard speaker pole, tripod / elevating pole, and it's very simple how it works. The bottom knob here fixes the tripod, the adjustable tripod, like so. It collapses for easy storage and transportation. And then you loosen this bottom knob here to get the tripod to open up, and you can tighten it back again. And this top knob allows the adjustable pole here to go up and down in height. There's another safety feature built into these poles. Older poles probably don't have this, but most of the newer ones I've seen do have this feature. In this top pole that slides up and down, you have holes punched every, I would say, maybe 3 inches or so. They go all the way through to the other side. And there's a pin attached to the knob that comes with the speaker pole. And depending on your desired height, you can place the pin inside and then let the pole drop down and rest with the pin on the collar like this. And what that does is it gives added support for whatever you place on top of the pole. We have a low ceiling in here, so we can't really use it. But just as an example, put it here, drop it down, and then tighten this up. Once you have your pin in place, tighten up the collar so that this doesn't slide out of position, and then carefully lift the speaker up and place the speaker onto the pole. Like that. Now the speaker can pivot or swivel, however you want to call it, into wherever you want to aim the speaker, and then use that locking nut in the back to secure its position. And then from there, this is what it looks like on the back. You make your connections. Power here. Make sure that the speaker is turned off before you do all of this. And then take your audio cable, plug it in here. Make sure the volume is turned down all the way. Then you can turn the speaker on, and then turn up your volume to the desired level. I wouldn't suggest that you turn it all the way up, but if need be, the speaker should be able to handle that. And you should be ready to play music at that point, and that's it.